You can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. Not even if you tried. Everybody meet Gavin Weinsberg and Tanner Thomas, two men of Texas who were planning to go to a Haitian island, take over the island, unalive all of the men, enslave all of the women and children, and essay them. They even went as far as joining the Texas Fire Academy and the Air Force to prepare for this attack. Now, this guy, Gavin, joined the Fire Academy in Texas and failed. He failed out. Our buddy Tanner Thomas over here decided he was going to join the Air Force so that they can prepare themselves to invade the island and take over. They were also planning to recruit people who were experiencing homelessness to invade the island. This is how committed they were to this sick plan. And this was all to play out their fantasies of unaliving and essaying Haitian people. Oh, and I forgot to say that they also went out of their way to learn Creole. Now, obviously, they didn't do enough research because history would have told them what happened during the Haitian Revolution. Haiti is not the place you wanted to go to try to do something like that. It wouldn't have gone in your favor, I promise. Anyway, lock them up forever. Don't let them out because what?
I wish y'all two would pull up to IET on that type of time and see what's going to happen to you. I wish you would have done this nonsense on any part of Haiti. I really wish they would have done that because 250 years of frustration would have been taken upon the both of you. I promise you that. Y'all would have been turned every which way loose, baby. Oh my God. Y'all should have let him come to Haiti. Y'all should have let him come and try that BS. Y'all should have let him come and try that BS, bro.
Hi family, how you doing? Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Olivia and thank you for your love and support. So family, two Texas men was just arrested, for trying to invade Haitian, kill all their men and enslave their women and children into sex. Like, how does this sound? This is so crazy. Like for them to even plan to execute this kind of dirty act, it's so crazy. This right there is colonizing. Okay, if you think that because you're white you have the right to black bodies, you have the right to take black lives, you are crazy. Okay, for you all to think that you can actually execute population of people in Haitian, kill all their men and enslave their women is crazy. Like, who brought up this idea? You guys don't just need to be arrested, you guys need to rot in jail. Okay, this is modern time slavery you guys trying to bring up. And this pattern is crazy, guys, because you all are ready. Okay, you have arranged your guns, you've arranged your sales, like you've actually planned everything on how you are going to, take up this act. How do you sleep at night? This whole thing is crazy, family. So let's watch together. Let me know what you think about this video, okay? And I'll come back with more commentaries. Don't go anywhere. Stay with me.
Two white men from Texas plotted to invade and conquer a Haitian island with a plan to recruit homeless people for their militia and use their U.S. military training to kill the island's men and then enslave the women and children. So federal prosecutors announced the indictment of Gavin Rivers, 21, and Tanner Christopher Thomas, 20 years old, on charges of conspiracy to murder, maim, and kidnap in a foreign country. So according to the indictment, their preparations included researching weapons and ammunition, planning to buy military-style rifles, and even attempting to learn the Haitian Creole language. One of them, Tanner Thomas, allegedly joined the U.S. Air Force, specifically to acquire combat training for the planned invasion. Now, they plotted this for over a year, and their plans included plans to buy a sailboat and recruit homeless people to help. And the indictment says that Thomas even changed his Air Force assignment to a base in Maryland to try and recruit homeless people in D.C. for this invasion. Now, both men were also charged with production of child abuse material for for allegedly persuading a minor to engage in explicit conduct. Their attorneys have stated they will plead not guilty to all charges. Now, if convicted, they both face a potential life sentence for the conspiracy charge and up to 30 years in prison for the child abuse material charge.
The confidence of mediocre white men is completely unmatched, because what do you mean these two men below me, Tanner and Gavin, from North Texas, were going to attempt to take over a Haitian island that had 87,000 inhabitants, overpower the entire island, unalive all the men, and turn the women and children into smeck slaves? These two are sitting behind bars right now. They faced life in prison for this. They also had CSAM on their devices, but they were arrested back in July. The details of this case, though, are just surfacing. So essentially their plan was to take a sailboat and bring it down to Haiti and enact this plan that they've been training a year for, okay? But don't worry, they weren't going to do it alone. They were going to recruit the homeless population of DC. That is correct. I haven't read a headline this ridiculous in quite some time. You were going to try to take on 87,000 people, one, and two, you were going to try to take on the gangs in Haiti? The confidence of mediocre white men. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow. Are you on to my face again? Thank you. Goodbye.
They are the 2025 Beavis and Butthead. So Beavis and Butthead thought they were going to go to this small island off of the coast of Haiti that has 80,000 people, and they were going to unalive all the men on the island and use the women and children as sex slaves.
You a stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe. Yeah, you a stupid hoe.
Like, do people not know the history of Haiti? Like, I mean, like, do y'all not know the history of the Caribbean, okay? The bad slaves were sent to the Caribbean, okay? So don't fuck with Caribbean people, okay? Especially those Haitians and the Jamaicans, okay? The bad slaves, okay, who had the worst behavior, okay, were sent to the Caribbean, okay? That's all I really have to say. Why? Why Haiti? Why Haiti? Y'all should have done that shit in America. The plan probably would have worked better in America. Haiti? And then they said that they were going to recruit homeless people. They were going to get homeless people in D.C. So they live in Texas, but they're going to go to D.C. to get homeless people to help them. Homeless? What the hell? Homeless people what the, this, like, when I saw this story, I thought it was fake, but it's not. Like, it's a real fucking story. Like, people are so fucking stupid, bro. Like, what in the world? And then, like, one of the guys, he enlisted in the Marines so he could get training just to go to Haiti to unalive the men and use the women as sex slaves? What the fuck?
I, for one, would have loved to have seen the attempt of those two Texas guys go to the island of Gonaïve to fulfill their long-inherited colonial and sexually physically violent dream against my people. Two 20-year-old fuck-ass racist degenerates plotting a coup d'etat in a country with people that they've never really encountered. And I think all of the violence that's been going on in the main capital of Haiti has got you guys confused. You're seeing these little Haitian women and Haitian men running for their lives, running to safety, and you guys are confused about the Haitian people. Maybe some of you need to test us out ourselves, because that gun pape blanc. This is not just exclusive to Haitians. This is a common understanding in all black communities. We're not scared of you. We know what you're capable of. We know who you are. Because yes, maybe when you first got here, you know, some of the islanders, they're still a little ignorant and they still favor white people. They might have given you a little special treatment, but once they're on board, they're on board. You and your maybe 5, 6, 20 even mercenaries got to the island of 87,000 plus people. I wonder what would happen next. Même si t'es tué 100, même si t'es tué 200, 300, 400, t'as tué quand même. Même avec Kraska tant cool. No, because maybe you don't know Haitians like I know Haitians. That gun pas no?
Hey fool, what did I just read? These two dudes right here really try to start their own country by committing a full-blown massacre. This might be one of the most sickening stories I ever seen, fool. These two men from Texas were indicted because allegedly they were going to the island in Haiti called Gonaïve to invade. And when I say invade, I'm talking about wipe out all the men on that island and then enslave the women and kids. You know how demonic that shit sound? Federal investigators said the two men were literally texting each other talking about taking over the island making a colony, and then forcing these women into sex labor. YT. And they say, nah, this wasn't no joke because they had everything in their power necessary to complete this. Weapons and all. I ain't gonna lie, in this moment, you gotta thank God that the Fed stepped in because that shit would have been fucking horrific, fool. Like, that's sick-minded. They sick as hell, fool. And I'm pretty sure it can't just be them two. They gotta look into it deeper. It gotta be more people connected. Haiti has already suffered enough and they're still suffering at this moment. And these people try to add on to it. And they wanted to go there and do some weird shit and try to play God. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this story down below in the comments. Because this shit do not feel real. I'm telling you, this shit wild.
Basically, this was when colonizing goes wrong. You think you're going to colonize? This ain't the 1814, 1500s, motherfucker. This ain't happening anymore. This is exactly how Africa was taken over. You know, you had some white motherfuckers came in, all nice, trying to speak the language, chilling, eating, and all of a sudden they raping the women, killing the men off, and all of a sudden slavery happens, and that's, yeah. So these two white dudes, like Gavin Weisenberg, Tanner Thomas, had a plot to take over a Haitian island.
Prosecutors say Weisenberg and Thomas planned to invade the island by sailboat, heavily armed, using homeless people they would enlist from Washington, D.C. to murder the men on the island, take control of the territory, and then turn the women into sex slaves.
A Haitian island, about 87,000 people, they were plotting since 2024 to take on, to colonize and take over this Haitian island. Both of them took Haitian Creole classes. They went to one went to the U.S. Navy, joined the Air Force or whatever to learn how to sail a boat. They failed doing that. So they were just studying weaponry, all kinds of shit. And their plan was, get this, guys, to kill off the men and keep the women as slaves and the children and sex traffic them and all this other shit. You know, they've been arrested. Thank God they were arrested and they might go to jail for life. We hope so. I hope they go to hell for life too. So the fact that they even have lawyers that are going, that one of them wants to plead not guilty. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so my thing is like white guys wanting to get rid of black men and enslave and black women is what's so surprising. I think that most white men want to do that in general. Now, I said this on purpose because I know people, a lot of times, some of you all in these interracial relationships, y'all get so goddamn sensitive, you act like this isn't facts, okay? There are some people that will be in an interracial relationship and hate the race that they're dating, honestly. There are white dudes that have black girlfriends that hate black men. And there are white women that have black boyfriends and black husbands that hate black women. This is a fact. It's all facts, okay? So this is some. I didn't say all, but I say majority. And then these two are an example of what the fuck it is. You want to go and kill all the men and enslave all the women. Real fantasy, creepy. You know, that's that black fantasy shit that a lot of white people have. You know, we be running rent-free in their heads. All that's homoerotic. You know, I mean, you guys ate us. There's a book called Delectable Negro. You can read it. You ate us. You smoked us. You pickled us. You cut off our penises, put them in jars. This is what white folks did. And you had Africans being cannibals, which has been true. So these two dudes, I hope they rot in hell. Them and all that other shit. Thank God that shit didn't work. When colonizing goes bad.
Correct me if I'm confused, but wasn't Haiti the first island to gain freedom? Why am I seeing that two men from Texas plan to invade Haiti? Two white men from Texas plan to invade Haiti. I believe they wanted to invade Gonave Island. I might be mispronouncing that. But their plan was to get homeless people from Washington, D.C., get on a sailboat. I'm trying to keep a straight face while I'm telling. This is real. Get on a sailboat, get to Haiti, go to Gonave Island, get rid of all the men, and enslave the women. Now, they've been arrested, and I'm sitting here like, am I the only one that remember Haiti's history when I had to learn it? I'm really trying to tell this with a straight face, and it's not working. So as I was saying, yeah, they had this plan, sailboat, all of that to get to Haiti, but they even studied Creole. They even studied Creole, but they never checked the history to see how Haiti was moving back in history. At this point, I think I've seen it all. Oh, they also got caught with CP.
These two dudes who decided they were going to unalive an entire island of men and make the women and children schmegs slaves. These two white dudes, don't ever let anyone convince you that men are just lazy. They are lazy when it comes to adding, value to the community, to family, to women's lives and stuff like that, unless they've been doing a lot of work on themselves and unpacking that entitlement and selfishness that patriarchy taught them. But when they are determined to do harm, oh boy, are they not lazy. Look at what all these look at what these dudes did. This is coming off the U.S. government website, mind. And these guys are Gavin and Tanner, like, oh my God. Gavin, who's 21, and Tanner, who's 20, had the mindset of who? Christopher Columbus. They are fulfilling their ancestors' dreams, okay? That's what they're doing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, read this book, People's History of the United States. And this will make a lot of sense, because this is just this is a part of white history in the U.S. especially. These two dudes trained for nearly a year. They were very disciplined in their hate. So I want to tell you, people like women are like, oh my God, my boyfriend can't figure out my birthday present. He can't remember this. Have you seen what they do when they get into climbing? They remember every single move on a climbing route. They remember the names of every route. They know everything about gear. They know everything at the set list of every Widespread Panic concert they've ever been to. They know at the Roxy in '96 or whatever. They know the stats of their favorite football player. When they are passionate about something and really care, boy, are they not lazy. So these guys took Haitian Creole classes for nearly a year to prepare to enslave women and children into becoming slaves. After do you know how many people are on this island? About 87,000. Possibly up to 100,000. This is a very hard island to get to, apparently. Listen to this extensive plan. And also, I'm going to tag one of my mutuals. She's been going through this book. I rebought this book. I read this in college, and it changed my life. It changed my relationship to my country, to my ancestors, to myself, because I had to know the history, the real history of my country. And why we are where we are. And boy, it all makes sense. So I'm going to tag her, go follow her. And she's going through this book, and I love it. I've learned so much. This is literally it's not that, this is just white men in America doing what the first people who came here were doing. The ones who, did the genocide and the chattel slavery and all that stuff. This is just that. This is more of that. So this is not shocking. And until we deal with our history, white people's history, we will continue to live out this nightmare. So, okay, what they have been indicted with is conspiracy to kidnap in a foreign country and production of child corn, because of corn. Their extensive plan was to travel to Gonave Island. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I believe that's how you'd say it. Gonave in French, but I don't know, whatever. Sorry, never heard of this island, and I'm in the middle of this video, and I'm sorry, I'm not looking it up while I'm speaking. Is part of the Republic of Haiti, as if Haiti has not been through enough. My God, of all places. Anyway, in attempting a coup d'etat, they prepared from August 2024 till July 2025. Okay, 11 months these guys were disciplined in this plan. Look at all they did. And they had planned to buy a boat and sail to the island, unalive every man on the island, overtake it by force, and take women and children as slaves. Now, just this, the Epstein stuff should not be shocking to us. This is a part of our history. Okay? That's what was happening in the South to the women and children and men that were enslaved. All right? This is what's been happening. This isn't new. This is our history. And this is exactly why they're banning books. They don't want us to know our history. They definitely don't want us reading this book or any of the many books that describe how we got here. But we're not breaking out of this cycle of violence until we look at the past and deal with it. So they enrolled in Creole classes, Haitian Creole classes, to prepare for the coup. They enrolled, or Gavin enrolled at North Texas Fire Academy in Rockwell. This was allegedly an effort to gain training and useful skills for their plot. The other dude, Tanner, enlisted in U.S. Air Force. The document says he intended to use the military training for the planned overthrow of the island. Well, if that isn't just too on the nose, going into the military to do what our military's been doing, it's just this guy decided to do it alone. Well, kind of. Actually, no, not alone, but just not with the military. He wants his own little cult, these two guys, I guess. And they were look at this, hold on. Homeless people. They wanted to recruit this is like, it hits like every single thing. Like the colonizer mind, every single thing. And like, oh my God. Every problem in the U.S., these guys are kind of the perfect picture of that. Gavin failed out of fire training. The loser, he failed out of fire training. Did I wake you up? Sorry. He's such an entitled looking baby. So Gavin bought tickets to Thailand, at least partially to enroll in a sailing course to prepare for getting to the island. The indictment says once he got to Thailand, look at this, he never enrolled due to the cost of the course. So, of course, this white guy goes to Thailand, and then I'm surprised he didn't do some harm over there. He probably did. And then he's like, he didn't need it. What, you didn't even look up the price? God, these guys are like evil and dumb. Ugh. Tanner managed to change his Air Force assignment from a base in Germany to one in Maryland. The indictment says this was both to stay in the U.S., to continue planning their little coup, and to attempt to recruit homeless people from the Washington, D.C. area. Like, this is such an insane story, and it's comically awful. Do you know what I mean? I have a warped sense of humor. I laugh. I'm not like, this is so disturbing, but it's so crazy. They're also accused of coercing, here we go, a minor to engage in sex on camera. Okay, so they're already doing the child stuff. They could face up to life in prison if they're convicted of the conspiracy to commit murder. And they face 15 to 30 years in prison of the child stuff. When I first saw this, I saw this, I was like, that right there. And this one right here. And they say white people aren't in touch with their culture. Oh, that's such a good joke. Because this is our culture. In the U.S., this is white culture. This is it. This is it. That's not all it is, but this is what it is. Watch Sinners, please. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please read this book if you want to understand. There's also a book called How the Irish Became White. Okay, there's so many books that explain why so many crazy folks come from our country. Like we're not just like the only crazy people. But things are pretty extreme in the U.S. There's a lot of cults. There's a lot of serial unaliver. There's a lot of extremism. But it all is because of our history. Our history tells it all. And this one right here, when you have a civil war over slavery and win, but let the traders get their way during Reconstruction and let them spend the next 150 years undermining every step towards progress and away from oppression, this is the result. So when I hear someone like Scott Galloway, who I will never shut up about, go on every news site possible and say that men are kind of lonely. We really need to invest more in men because God knows they don't have enough privilege. And women need to marry these men so they're not violent. Fuck off. Because Scott, like so many people, will not deal with that white male entitlement that comes with patriarchy. He'll do anything. He'll talk around everything. And he, like so many, will not deal with the core issue, is that brainwashing under patriarchy that they own the world, they deserve the world, and they should be able to do whatever they want to get it. Anyway, God! And follow my Patreon if you want more stuff.
Did y'all see that 2 men in Texas were arrested by the feds for conspiring to steal the island of Haiti? Yes, they thought they were going to go to Haiti and, I don't know, overthrow the government, take over the island. Yes, 2 palm-colored men in Texas were arrested. They had plans to go to Haiti, kill all the men, and keep the women and children as sex slaves. And they've also been arrested on child charges. Now, these 2 men are young. They're like 20 and 21 years old. Definitely gives entitled, spoiled brats, raised to be racist. I mean, they're from Texas and entitled. And let me tell you the links that they went to prepare for this plan. One of them went to firefighter school, I guess, to learn skills, but flunked out. One of them went to Thailand to go to do a sailing course so they could learn how to sail, because they were going to be taking a boat to Haiti with heavy machinery to kill all the people, but could not afford the sailing class in Thailand, so they still came back. And then one of them, I don't know which one out of the 2, joined the Air Force. Requested to be moved to a base, I guess, closer to DC, and was trying to recruit homeless people to join them on this journey to Haiti to take over the island. Yes. So they have been indicted by the feds for the conspiracy charge, conspiracy to commit murder in foreign land or something like that, and the child sex crimes. Because apparently they were encouraging also a minor to do certain things with them. But that's crazy that they thought they were just going to go to an island and take it over. And it's like, why are y'all so obsessed with black people? Why do you want to go to a black island and make them slaves? It's very weird. Kill the men and make the women and the children slaves? Very alarming.
This is an absolutely insane story. 2 men from the state of Texas, named Gavin Weisenberg and Tanner Thomas, have been arrested by federal authorities in Texas for planning to stage a coup on a Haitian island right off the Haitian mainland, where they planned to murder all the men on this island, okay, and then enslave all the women and children and utilize them as their sexual slaves. According to the indictment, they started planning this coup back in August of 2024, and they started learning skills that they believed were going to help them take this island, Gonave Island, an island of 86,000 people, by force. They started learning Haitian Creole. One of them joined the fire academy and flunked out, got dismissed, then went to Thailand to apparently learn sailing techniques. Another one of them joined the Air Force to apparently learn any helpful techniques he could there in order to carry out this sick and twisted fantasy. Another part of their plan was to recruit homeless people around the Washington, D.C. area to apparently join them in these efforts to take over Gonave Island by force. Weisenberg and Thomas were arrested, and they are now charged with conspiracy to kill or kidnap persons in a foreign country. They were also charged with sexual exploitation of a child for producing a sexually explicit video of a child. Now, I've seen some folks in the Haitian community say this, and I just want to reiterate, these 2 were going to play with the wrong people. For those of you that don't know about Haitian history, Haiti is the only country in world history to have been founded as a result of a successful slave rebellion. It is also the first independent black republic in the entire world, and on top of that, is the first country to declare independence from their colonizers and their slavers in Latin America. It would not have gone well for them if they would have tried this. I can guarantee you that. And this is not a new phenomenon in the United States. White supremacists throughout this country's history have always tried to be like, oh, we're going to go colonize a random country in the Americas and Latin America and the Caribbean and make everyone our slaves because we're kings. We deserve that, right? We have the example of William Walker, who back in the 1800s wanted to do the exact same thing in Mexico, in Central America, specifically Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica. This guy wanted to go in with a band of white supremacists and make himself king and enslave everybody in those countries. That did not go well for him. He was executed by the Honduran government in the 1800s. I hope these 2 rot in prison for the rest of their lives. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Did y'all hear about the two men that plan to violently take over a Haitian island so they could force the women and children into being sex workers? Yes, their names were Gavin Weisenberg and Tanner Thomas. And they're both from North Texas, by the way. They spent an entire year training, trying to learn Haitian Creole, and trying to just figure out when was the perfect time and, a detailed plan on how to carry out the massacre. They plan to sail to the island, unalive every single man on that planet, and enslave the women and children. They had like these dark, twisted fantasies and they wanted to live it out, and that's how they were going to live that out. They were charged with conspiracy to commit unaliving abroad, kidnapping, and producing child pornography. Yes, prior to the planning, they already literally kidnapped a child and forced them into committing what acts on camera. One even enrolled into the fire academy and the other one joined the U.S. Air Force. Literally, they were doing everything they could to prepare for this. Also tried recruiting other adults as well. They were trying to find people online and recruit even a few homeless people that they saw on the streets in DC. They literally trained for an entire year before getting caught. I'm not sure how they got caught though. They did not specify. But yes, of course, they're being held. And once they are convicted, if convicted, they will be facing up to life in prison. And this is a no-brainer. They should be convicted. They should not be out anytime soon, because if they went that hard to prepare for something like this, who's to say they won't do it again and maybe be successful next time, or just do something and settle for something in the U.S. They are a danger to society. Let me know what y'all think about this situation.
So, family, this is why we keep talking about racism. This is why we keep talking about white crimes against black communities. Haitians have fought for their freedom once. They shouldn't have to fight for it this time again with these evil plans of the white people. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video, and if you find it very interesting, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Of course, support the channel by subscribing to the channel, and always come around because I always share with you guys some juicy and trending stories. Thank you, and see you guys next time. Stay safe.